He had to start all over. I don't know what was going on, technical difficulty. Take two, baby. But we here today. So listen, don't you scroll by this. You see this chocolate face and this vanilla face. Don't you scroll by it, because today's episode, we talking about in-laws with people. What if we told you that one of the biggest stressors in your marriage is not money or communication or emotional disconnection? Those are important. But the research has consistently shown that your in-laws are one of the biggest stressors. But the research also shows that it's really not your in-law. You know what it is? It's you, y'all, you and your partner not setting clear boundaries. Yeah. So in this episode today, man, we about to get into it, good people. Boundaries, family, those people that you love, are they strengthening your marriage, right? Or are they stressing your marriage? Welcome back to another episode of The Married Life. I'm FL, founder of the Dirty BU Network, where identity meets nervous system. And this is my boo thing.
Chandra.
Now you get way better at that now. You get way better at that. And listen, this is The Married Life, where we slow things down. We recognize our patterns within ourselves in relationships, right? We get a new regulate our body through those emotions, right? Get a new revelation on what to do different, right? Build a rhythm around that revelation. We put it on repeat mode. So we do what, babe?
Fly.
So we can fly together. Man, today's episode, good people, man, we got a good one for you today, man. We talking about them damn in-laws. We giving y'all 27 years of experience, man. What worked, what didn't work, personal stories. Because in-laws, they can either strengthen your relationship, right, and support it, or slowly tear it apart, right? Right? You ready to get into this thing?
Let's do it.
Man, this show is sponsored by who? Tell them about the sponsor, babe.
Auntie Feifei. So Auntie Feifei's Vegan Treats is the sponsor today. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram if you are looking for a sweet treat. So cookies, I do chocolate chips, s'mores, snickerdoodle, sugar cookies. If you want a cookie cake for a birthday or an event, I do all kinds of things.
All type of things. Man, where they find you at?
Facebook
Instagram.
And Instagram. And if you like something on the page and you want to order something, just shoot me a DM and we'll take care of you. Man,
there it is. Auntie Feifei Vegan Treats, baby. A healthier way to snack. Man, you ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
Man, let's get into it. Y'all know I'm a note taker, man. Y'all know. So listen, we about to jump right into this thing, man. So listen. Let's talk about our story, babe. How we all got, how we've been together 27 years, how everybody knows, it's no secret we're an interracial couple. Ooh. If you didn't know that by now, So let's just talk about how we had to blend that back in the late 90s. Because we got married in 99. Mm-hmm. We started dating in 96, right? So just talk about, a little bit, you coming from a small town, Spiro, Oklahoma. I'm a city boy, right? And just having to merge that with the in-laws, number one, with race. Right. So just talk about a little bit about, from your perspective, how that was, how your experience was coming into my family like that. And then I talk about,
So, honestly, there was no issue coming into on my end. There was no issue with any of his family.
And shout out to my family out there, baby. Yes, sir. Yeah, go ahead.
Love my family. They're my family. I don't really use the word in-law.
Yeah.
They're my family.
Yeah, that's real.
But I guess I grew up in a small town. I'm not sure how that correlates to in-laws.
Well, because a small town, Spiro, Oklahoma. How many black people in Spiro? That's all I'm saying. That's what I mean. That's what I mean by a small town.
No, it wasn't 50-50.
Yeah, but that's all. That's all I mean.
I grew up with black people.
Oh, yeah, I know. Because you country.
I'm just saying.
Country and soul food, country black, that's almost the same thing. Now, I'm just saying, coming from that, just like with me coming from the city, when I first started dating people out of my race, man, that was a big deal in the 90s. I used to tell you that, going to the mall, going to things.
I say on my mom's side, it was probably less of a thing. But now on my dad's side, it was
probably more of a thing.
like,
yeah.
I mean, they really were not around Black people.
Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah.
Now my mother was. Yes, we went to church with Black. I mean, like we, as a child, I've grown up around Black people.
Yeah. See, for me, I went to a private school, so I was like one of the only Blacks. So I got acclimated with stuff like that, being around other races early, right? Because I didn't go to public school. So from high school to all the way up to college, I went to a private school. Shout out to CHA, baby, Christian Heritage Academy. So that was like a culture shock for me, though, going from all Black public schools to then all white, right? And so it was like culture shock. So but yeah, introducing introducing me to your family, like she said, her mom, nothing. It was no deal. Now her dad's side a little bit.
My dad had already passed away. But it was, my grandparents, his parents, that, wanting to, I guess, be open. I was wanting to be open, but
but we'll get to that because we're jumping ahead ourselves. I got a part of this to tell y'all about all that. So what we trying to get to in this first section, though, to show you that I want to say it like this: in-laws should require you to become someone different to feel like you belong, right? Like she said, my mom and dad didn't make her be anything different, right? This is from the initial. Her mom didn't. Her dad was already passed, but I felt welcome from her sister, from her nieces. I mean, everybody. So we didn't have that problem, but I know some people do.
Right.
So we wanted to make this episode to let you know that in-laws can cause stress, but they also can strengthen. Right. So what else would you say to that part? Just talk a little bit about this is a funny part about how you had to get used to the Black functions and my mom's Black cornbread.
Well, I don't eat sweet cornbread. Okay? I just don't.
What?
I know there's a lot of white people that do. This white girl, I just eat my country no sugar cornbread. That's what I like. But the only thing I had to really get used to is the loudness. And
talk about that a little bit.
It's hard as a soft-spoken, quiet person to get a word in.
What?
Yeah.
No, my family loud. What?
Anyway, we need to get the videos of all the games we played over
the
years.
Right. So
the sheer volume is woo.
It's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
So the first time you had to go to a cookout or something like that, what was your experience? Now, yeah, you used to it. But I'm saying, like, we're really trying to make this episode to let people know, like, what was that experience for you meeting the in-laws like that at a gathering, and you heard all the loud talking?
I mean,
all the.
Sometimes at first it was like it almost sounded like arguments. It really wasn't, but to me, I'm like, are they arguing over here? Because I couldn't tell. But I mean, I got used to it. Real fast.
To it. Yeah, man. So listen, man, before we get to this next part, that's what I want you to hear before we go on again. Like I said, your in-laws, right, shouldn't require you to change or be somebody different to feel accepted, right? Yeah. Right? They shouldn't, right? They should be able to support and strengthen your marriage, right? And not stress it. All right. So listen, part 2. This is what the research actually says. And this is what shocked me. Right. So I'm just going to read it word for word with the research. Research has found that in-laws consistently rank among the top 5 stressors in your marriage.
Yeah.
That's your in-laws in your marriage. Right. But here's what's interesting that we thought, right? The research doesn't just say that the family or the in-laws are the problem. It says y'all are the problem because y'all are not setting boundaries. So in this part, we just want to talk about those boundaries, man. They have to be set, right? So listen, before I tell y'all some stories about how I had to set the boundaries with my mom and my grandmother, how my wife had to set the boundaries with my grandmother, I want y'all to hear this, right? It's not that the in-laws, I wrote this down. In-laws don't usually hurt marriages. This is what I want you to hear because they love you, right? Right? They're not doing that intentionally to hurt. Well, I can't say.
Yeah.
Some people, let me back up. But let me just say it like this. In-laws, I wrote this down. In-laws don't usually intentionally try to hurt your marriage. It's just that y'all don't have clear boundaries.
Yeah.
That's what, because if you don't have the boundaries in place, then they gonna think they can. And see, and this is one thing I want to say too before I tell you these quick stories, this funny story. Me and my wife had to figure this out, and you can chime in on this. What you think about this? Once you get married, your parents don't get to uh direct you no more. They become advisors. So
Right, yeah.
how do you feel about, just talk a little bit about that? Do you think that's true? Do you think that's,
yeah, if you want them to be an advisor, they don't have to be an advisor.
but what I'm no, but I'm saying about the direction, because we're talking about in-laws, how they overstep boundaries.
Oh yeah, there's some in-laws that probably overstep
Way too many
things they shouldn't be doing or saying. But yes, you could seek advice, but at that point, you better, first of all, the couple needs to make sure they're clear.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If the wife is uncomfortable with the husband going to the parents, or the husband's uncomfortable with the wife going, y'all need to first set your own boundaries.
That's real.
For each other, and then you got to talk to the in-laws about, okay, these are the boundaries we have for you guys.
No, real talk. Because listen, we all have to set those boundaries. And for guys, I'm talking to my fellas now, that can be kind of difficult with the women in your life. Women in your life, I mean, mother, grandmother, the women that kind of raised you. It was difficult for me. So the story I would tell you about, and wife, you know about this. So I'm over, man, we was probably married, 3 or 4 years already. I'm at my mom's house. I'm going with my mom's story first. Okay. So we over there talking. We had already built our first house, all that good stuff. We're talking about something. I don't know. I can't remember what we was talking about. So my mom is telling me what I need to do at this point, right? This is what I'm talking about, healthy boundaries. So she's not talking to me, suggesting. Shout out to my mom. We got a great relationship. So listen. Yeah. So she's telling me what I need to do. So I'm listening. But the whole time she's telling me, I'm trying to find a way to respectfully tell her that I'm a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm listening to her telling me this. And so she pauses, and I said, Mom, do I need to show you my license? She looked up, like, license. Boy, what you talking about? I said, because I'm a grown ass man. And I put ass on it. Not just grown man, grown ass man. She looked, she said, oh. So me and her laugh about that to this day. But what I'm trying to show you is boundaries, good people. You got to set boundaries. Something like that happened with my grandmother. Same thing. She wanted me to come over to her house to do something. Me and my wife was already doing an event or something at our house. We was probably married 5 years. Long story short, I told her I'd come over there later. I didn't show up, called her the next day, was like, hey, we got tied up with blah, blah, blah. I can come over now. She was livid. Like, I mean, full blown, no, don't come, don't this. So I had to set those boundaries. Look, I'm married now. I have other responsibilities. I'm not that young grandson of yours that can just pop up and just come over there and paint your siding and cut your grass. And I'll do that for you, but there's boundaries in place. So those are some of the boundaries that I personally had to put in place. Wifey, talk about the boundary you had to put in place with my grandmother, man.
Yeah. So his grandmother is a little abrasive, I would say, maybe in her language and how she approaches things. So
she just say what she feels.
This is when we first got married. I guess she felt like I needed to be doing something that I wasn't doing, and I was like, I don't remember the whole conversation. So I'm.
Yeah.
I was basically like, no, I think I want to do that. You might want to ask me if I will.
Yeah,
I want to be nice about it.
Real
talk. Yeah. So she didn't mess with me no more after that.
Got a great relationship after that.
It was great after that.
Listen, man, when my grandmother got sick and me and my dad went down there to visit her, you know the first person she asked for? Where is your wife? That's how good their relationship was. But in that beginning, she had to set that boundary, good people.
Right.
She had to set, because my grandma is kind of like if you let her, because she's very assertive. Shout out to rest in peace, baby. She's very assertive, very self-directed. Y'all hear me talk about she's one of the most influential people in my life. My mom, my dad, my grandmother. I did a Soul Truth about that, so go check that out. But boundaries, though.
Right.
Boundary. So this is what I want you to hear, man, before we go to the next thing. But I already said it. After you get married, parents are not your advisors. Parents become your advisors,
Right.
not your guides.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. If you want to build a healthy marriage, you have to stick to that principle. Your parents become your advisors, not your guide. Okay. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this next part, man. What the research say. We want to give you data too, because we really want to talk about it and tell stories and add it, and then drop your comments below. If you got a question, if you're dealing with some in-law struggles, with some in-laws challenges, drop your questions below, good people. This is 27 years, right? So the research also says we found out that when parents interfere too much, now we're talking about just parents, right? Marital satisfaction drops. Wow. Because it's one of the biggest stressors. Because listen, you care about your parents, right? Your parents care about you. Sometimes your parents, right, are not interfering in your relationship to try to break it apart.
Right.
Sometimes parents just feel like nobody's good enough for their child.
That's true.
That's just what it is, good people. So it's up to you, y'all, like wifey said, in y'all's relationship, right, to form those boundaries. So just talk a little bit about this, Dev. How I want to say how boundaries don't destroy relationships, unspoken expectations do, right? So talk about how sometimes if you're not careful, we allow outside voices to put those unspoken unspoken expectations on us. Kind of like with my grandmother, even though you nipped it in the bud,
right.
But just kind of talk about in that moment that she said that, what made you nip it in the bud? Did you feel attacked? Did you feel, if you can kind of remember? I know that was a long time ago.
That was like, woo, we first got married. No, I probably felt like, people didn't really, I was never around anyone that talked like that. That was so direct and expected you to do what they said.
Yeah.
And it probably shocked me first and foremost.
Got you.
And so I don't know. I guess it was just a natural. I was like, oh, hold up,
slow your roll.
I can't do this now. I don't know. I don't even remember what I said exactly, but I just was like, that don't feel right. The approach, the expectation.
Hold on. Stay right there. I like what you just said. That don't feel right. Even from a young age.
Right.
So basically what I'm hearing you saying, even from a young age, you knew when something was out of alignment. You might not have language for it, but it didn't feel. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I was just like, I guess that was just a natural reaction for me to be like, hold up, I ain't doing all that.
Yeah. And it was weird. It was an awkward moment for everybody because I was there, good people. And that's my grandmother. Like I said, is one of the most influential people in my life. So when wifey pops back, right, I'm sitting there. I'm over once. I think I was on one side of you. You was facing my grandmother. I was sitting. So wifey pops back. She says that, and I'm saying to myself anyway. I'm like, that sounded kind of. So wifey pops back. I'm sitting there. My grandmother goes silent. Wifey goes silent. I go silent. So it's like this awkward silence for a couple of seconds, and then we just went on and stuff. Yeah. So listen, you gotta stand up for yourself. Let me say it that way, right? That's why I asked wifey. She knew that what my grandmother said, and it wasn't an intentional attack.
Right. That's just how she is.
That's just how she
Literally,
is with everybody.
That's just how she was. But I just had never experienced it.
And I'm gonna tie this in because I'm gonna show you. My grandmother was like that with my mom. When my mom and dad was dating. Now I'm 47 and looking back on it. That's why I say sometimes it's not even an attack against you.
Right.
Sometimes people just don't feel like you're good enough for their child.
Right.
They just have to change their mindset. They have to reframe their mindset.
Right.
So my mom and my grandma used to do this for years. Until probably about the last 15 years of my grandmother's life. Right. They became really good friends.
Even though your parents were divorced.
Even though they were long after they were divorced.
We would have things at our house. They would both come to family functions.
My grandmother and man. Even that's after my dad and mom had divorced. Right. They became good friends. And you know why? Because my grandmother is a very self-directed person, right? So when she says things and you don't say something back, she gonna probably kind of keep saying them.
Right.
My mom and my wife, Nah, what? Who you talking to? And she respected that. So what I'm trying to show you in your own relationship, you got to stand up for yourself. And it's not necessarily your partner got to stand up for you.
Right.
Right? Sometimes your partner has to stand up to your in-laws.
Right.
And you have to support your partner.
Right.
When she stands up or they stand up to your in-laws.
Right.
Yeah. Shout out to somebody joining the live just like it. So drop your questions below. If you got a question, if you're going through some in-law struggles right now, drop it. We want to get to it. So listen, man, we almost done. Man. Let's get to this last little part, right? This is something I found in the stats too. I want to talk about it. I'm gonna get your part on it. The research also says something beautiful that I like, that when couples feel accepted by their in-laws, right? Marital satisfaction goes way up.
Mm-hmm. Right.
27 years. What wifey just say? We ain't never had no problem with our in-laws.
No.
Now we will tell the story real quick and then we get up out of here about your grandmother.
Right.
So the story that we had about the in-laws, why I said about the race and all that, how that came in, you can kind of tell a little bit, then I'll tell my part.
I mean, my grandparents, of course, their generation, were not around Black people. They grew up in the very racist America.
Yeah.
And so they hadn't really ever experienced, like, my grandmother never worked, my grandfather did. And I would say it was probably more so my grandmother that was a little more
I would definitely say your grandmother.
Racist.
Yeah.
And so this was kind of early in our marriage too. I can't remember when, but it was less than probably 8 years into our marriage. And, I just, my grandmother would say things. I would go there by myself. I still would visit my grandparents, but I would go there by myself. But, my grandmother would say things, and I decided, hey, you know what? This is my husband. And if you can't accept him, then I'm going to have to cut this relationship off because this is who I'm with. So I wrote, and I probably shouldn't have done it, but I did. I wrote my grandparents a letter, and I'm sure one of my family members had to read it to them because they could not read. But so I was, just basically told them, hey, this is what it is. I'm not divorcing him. If he can't be around you, then I can't be around you.
Yeah.
But then Fernandez was like, nah, you go ahead.
So basically, and shout out, we just got a question. We're going to pull it up. Hey, pull it up on your phone, babe. Question. And we're going to get to that question. But the finished wifey story, she was like, nah, 10 toes down for my chocolate skin, baby. She was 10 toes down for this chocolate over here. You see what I'm saying? But I told her, I'm not even going to try to make it seem like I was wise when I did it because I was young. I'm not saying I wasn't. I'm not saying I was. But I understood the impact that my grandmother had on my life, right? So when we used to go down there to see her mom when she lived in Fort Smith, she used to always go see her. And I told her after that, don't do that to your grandmother. Mm-hmm. Go see your grandmother, right? I'm going to always be here, babe. Right. Your grandmother don't know me. I'm like, she don't know. And that's exactly what I told her. I said, she don't know me. She's saying that stuff based off imagery and based off what she's been taught about Black people, right? And she was raised in a totally different era. Yeah. So that don't offend me, her saying that stuff, because I'm not that, right? And so I think a couple of months later, Christmas rolled around and I finally got to meet her grandmother because I told her, I said, look, when your grandma meet me, baby, she gonna fall in love with this chocolate face and this chocolate skin. What? This is what I do, baby. And what happened though? Yeah. When they met me,
I mean, it completely changed
instantly, man. Her grandfather was never like that. He was. But when they met me, then every time I see her or talk to him, Fernandez, that's what he called me. Fernandez, when you gonna come down here and help me pick these taters?
My grandparents were country. They had their own garden. We used to pick potatoes
all that, man. Wore overalls every day and a flannel. Yes. And then her grandmother, when I used to come over to the house after all this, always in there cooking. Mm-hmm. That's where she probably get it from. Mm-hmm. Fried taters. You hungry? You want something? Always trying to feed me. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that to say, man, boundaries have to be put in place. Wifey did put those boundaries in place, but sometimes the relationship can be more important. So I made a conscious decision Don't cut that off.
Mm-hmm.
When your grandmother meet me, she gonna fall in love with me. She don't know me, but when she get to know me, it's gonna be cool.
Right.
So
and,
all right,
it was great after that.
And it was all right, babe. Come on, man. Let's get to this. Okay, I'm having a hard time telling my mother to stop interfering with our marital decisions. How do I tell her without damaging the relationship between all of us? Man, that's a great question. That's a great question. Well, I wouldn't suggest do it like I did, telling her that you a grown ass man. No, I'm just.
Well, we don't know if this is a woman or a man either.
Well, yeah, we don't know. So I would just suggest do it like I did it, but do it your way. Right. So you're just gonna have to, whatever that way looks like for you, without being disrespectful, without coming off aggressive. Right now, if you come soft and you give a soft answer, because I love that book. So the book say a soft answer turns away wrath. So if you give a soft answer, right, and they still blow up or take offense to it, you can't do nothing about that. So I would say, if I was in your shoes, I would think about how I would approach that parent, right, and just be real with them. Look, I mean, you've done your job. You've done a good job raising me. Now let me make my own decisions, right? If I need help, I know that you're there. You're more than willing to help me. So that's how I would handle that situation.
And I would say too, if it's already crossing a boundary, how much are you discussing your relationship with your parent? Because that could affect it too. Like if you feel like they're trying to always interfere, are you discussing your relationship with your family? Because if so, you might need to find a different person to confide in.
That's real.
That's real. You can't always, you just can't always go to your family if it's not the best situation to go to them for advice.
Man, that's real.
Find someone else to get advice from. Talk to someone else if it's something that you feel like you need to talk to someone else, and that parent is not the person you need to talk to, then find someone else to talk to.
Man, that is real. Was she giving you what I just said? That is the sauce, good people. That is true. So yeah, man. So listen, man, we're gonna end it with this. We want y'all to understand about these boundaries. So we're gonna end it with this. Everybody doesn't deserve a front row seat in your life.
No, but even a parent sometimes.
Even the parent, even your in-law. But here's the thing. They do deserve a ticket in the building. Boundaries, right? Because boundaries are not walls, good people. Boundaries are doors with custom locks. I'm going to say that again.
I'll say this. You could also email us, the married life, THA23@gmail.com. If you want to get into more detail, we could kind of go that way with it, because it does depend on what the real situation is.
No, real talk.
And then also we got to make sure you're talking to your spouse about your boundaries with each other.
Yes,
with the parent.
I
mean, not talking with the parents, but you and your husband are like, okay, this is the boundary we have, and we're going to communicate that to our parents.
Y'all got to get on the same page first. Yes. Me and my wife didn't do anything without getting on the same page first. That's why I said everybody doesn't deserve a front row seat in y'all's life, right? It's only certain people that got front row seats, but everybody in our family got tickets in the building.
Right.
Our family was great. They support us. They strengthen our relationship.
Yes.
My dad, my mom, my sisters, my nieces, my dad, her sister. So our family was great. They got front row seats, backstage passes, all that. Right. But sometimes your family members don't need that.
Right.
They just need a seat in the balcony. Right. Some of them just need a seat in the building.
Right.
You ever been to Jerry's World, Dallas Stadium? Right. You can get a cheap ticket for like $20 to get in the building.
Right.
But you're not in the game.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So everybody don't need a front row seat, good people, but they do need a ticket in the building. It's up to you and your spouse to figure out what ticket to give them. Right. Are they in the balcony? Are they on the second level? Or are they in the front row? Because like I said, boundaries are not walls. Stop thinking boundaries are walls. Stop thinking boundaries is a bad word.
No.
Boundaries are doors with custom locks. Because listen, I'll lock your ass out in a minute.
I think it's boundaries with your own children. You're protecting your children, right? If you set a boundary for them, there's a reason there's a boundary set, because there's a protection needed. So you got to protect yourself and your marriage before your parents.
Yeah, no, real talk.
You're choosing the person that you're with at that point.
Real talk. It's a conscious decision. That's why I said I'll lock your ass out in a minute. Because a boundary is a door with a custom lock.
Right.
You got the key to the custom lock.
Yeah.
So when something gets too much, we'll lock that door. Right. You ain't getting in. They still in the building, but you ain't coming in the room no more. Right? Y'all have to make that conscious decision together as a team. Right? So listen, that's the married life, good people. In-laws, that's the research. Listen, hit us up. You know where to find us. I'll appreciate that. They said great answers, great advice. Shout out to my guy, Dr. Man, that's Jay. That's Jay. Shout out to Jay, baby. Shout out to Jay. Man, that's my college roommate, good people, man. Me and him, man, we've been friends for almost 30 years, right? So shout out to my boy. Where do they find us at to send the messages again or questions again? Email. The Married Life.
Yes. So the THA Married Life 23@gmail.com.
Yeah. Shoot us your questions, man. We want to hear from you. And every Tuesday, new episode will be up by 2:30. Sometimes we go live like this, right? Every Sunday, 9 a.m., I go live for Soul Truth Sunday. Every first Sunday, me and Dr. Ford go live in clinic, right? And then the Dirty Be You podcast starts next month. So you want to be tuned in for that. And then the Spotlight, good people. If you want to be a guest on the Soul Truth Spotlight, I do a live coaching call the last Monday of every month. If you want to be a guest, email me, flthelifecoach@gmail.com. Tell me two things. Number one, what's the biggest area you're struggling in right now in your life? Identity, relationships, health, money. And are you willing to be coached live on the Spotlight? You could be the next guest. So hit me up. So I ain't got nothing else to say, babe. You got anything else to say?
Look up Auntie Feifei's Vegan Treats if you're in the OKC area.
Auntie Feifei Vegan Treats, baby, a healthier way to snack. So listen, until next Tuesday, I'm FL, founder of the Dirty Be You Network, where identity meets nervous system. This is my boo thing, y'all. What's your name, babe?
Chandra.
And this is the Married Life. Till next time, y'all have a great Tuesday. We out, good people.
Bye-bye.